Well, it appears Marvel Comics is finally letting Peter Parker grow up, just not in the main universe. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the new Ultimate Spider-Man and the life fans have always wanted Peter Parker to finally get. I wonder how long it'll take for him to take it away. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, check out that merch shelf. It really does help the channel. Well, there was a time when Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson in the comics were married. They even had a baby. And even though she died, you can thank Norman Osborn for that, all of that has been rarely mentioned in the years following. Now, there was a point in time in the comics where Spider-Man made a deal with Mephisto to save Aunt May, and that itself erased the history of him and MJ and their marriage from the Marvel history book. Now, since then, we were briefly teased with an engagement, but it seems like at this point, on Earth 616, Peter and MJ have pretty much gone their separate ways. And this is where we get into the new Jonathan Hickman Ultimate Universe, because over there, it's taking a different path. Now, Jonathan Hickman and artist Marco Checchetto's new take on the Ultimate Spider-Man is shaping up to be one big surprise. And when it launches next January, it's going to give us a very different Peter Parker. Now, not only is he an older, wiser version of the character, but he's balancing all his superhero duties with being a husband and a father. Let's go ahead and check out this art. Now, the first cover is Peter and Mary Jane together, and you can't help but notice how grown Peter looks here, and honestly, a good bit like Andrew Garfield. Now, in the second picture, you see Peter once again, but this time with 2 children, which for a guy who seemingly never gets to be happy, this is a pretty great shot. Now, the official description reads, "Meet Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson, Mr. and Miss Parker. They're one of pop culture's most iconic couples, and now readers will see them stronger than ever in the Ultimate Universe." Now, I have to say, guys, being a big Spider-Man fan, I kind of like what they're doing here. Pretty clear to me in the main Marvel Universe, Peter Parker and MJ are going to remain apart. But this new Ultimate Spider-Man seems to be embracing it fully. Now, how Hickman will make this different from Spidey with kid stories that we've seen before, that is the big question. But this particular version of Peter Parker has seemingly had the time to establish himself as his parent and as a husband, and this new series should show Peter trying to balance all this out, and I think it's a great thing for the character, because that's what his readers do. Remember, Stan Lee used to say, Marvel is the world outside your window, and Peter have related to Peter Parker and his struggles their whole life. But many of us, myself included, have also grown. We are now the people who are parents, who are husbands, who do have children. And seeing Peter go through some of those similar struggles, there's going to be some great stories that could peel out of it. Now, my question is, how long before the Ultimate Universe robs Peter of this happiness? Because it does seem like Peter never gets to be happy. I'm actually hopeful they don't do that very quick and allow this to take its course for as long as possible, because I am more than a little curious about how Peter balances this stuff and who these new children are. Do they have powers? Are they also kid superheroes? Or are Peter and MJ doing everything they could do to keep them away from the dangers of the Marvel world? It sounds like some great storytelling opportunities, and I can't wait to check out the first issue next January.